They reveal yourself to you. This is the amazing thing about psychedelics.
Self-identification.
The other remarkable thing is, and it is a remarkable thing, is why are plants teachers? Why do they want to teach us? This really gets to grips with the mystery of being alive. These come from plants, but they want to teach us. They want to teach us to be better people, to be the best of ourselves rather than the worst of ourselves. And that's what a tough trip with ayahuasca can be. It shows you the worst of yourself. It shows you everything you did wrong. It immerses you in it. You've experienced it from the other person's point of view, but there's an opportunity in that to learn and to say, well, I did that before, but I won't do that again.
And the told about telling you everything you did right.
So why are plants teachers? They never really went into it on this podcast. They just proceeded to talk about 5-MeO-DMT, which is the toad, as Mike calls it. But I think it's a very interesting question that Graham brought up. And that's been brought up before, but I mean, do we really have an answer for it? Because we know it's a thing. Plant medicine teaches us things when we're under the spell, when we're under the influence of these plant medicines, right? They show us a better way to live, as Graham says. They show us a better way to be or function as a human being, right? Essentially, they just teach us how to love ourselves and love others, essentially. So why? Why do they teach us how to be better and not worse? Why does it seem proactive rather than destructive? Well, my answer to that would be simply the plants are trying to wake us up, okay? They realize, as in nature, the intelligence of nature, the guy in mind, somehow realizes that the apes are kind of messing up the world. Okay, somehow the energy's off. They're sensing something is off within the symbiotic relationship that we share, and they're saying, okay, we gotta wake the monkeys up, bro, or else we're not gonna exist. It's kind of a matter of survival, right? It's survival for us, yes, but in the greater sphere of what we are, it's survival for the planet. And this chemical induction, whether it's psilocybin, mescaline, DMT, whatever it is, whatever the chemical is, forms a symbiotic relationship with our brain so that we almost enter into the intelligence of nature. And the intelligence of nature is just saying, hey man, be a better person and be a better person to the world that you live in, essentially. That's really what's happening. That's why they're teaching us. It's because they're trying to survive. It's the number one motive in all living organisms, survival at all costs. So it's almost like nature, the intelligence of nature is like seeing through time, right? And it's almost like non-linear time, and it can see into the future of what this world's going to become if we continue on the same path. And it's seeing destruction, essentially. So these plants are saying, I don't want to get destroyed. We got to wake the monkeys up. And that's kind of what happens, man. We're just a byproduct of our symbiotic relationship, in the greater intelligence, in the greater consciousness, yes. But even think about the symbiotic relationship at the most basic point between how we breathe out carbon dioxide and they take in that carbon dioxide, and then they thus breathe out oxygen for us to take in. It's that simple. Even at the most basic of our life force, we are in this symbiotic relationship. So as above, so below, that kind of extends into our intelligence, man. We can't live without each other, essentially. More so, we can't live without them. I think it's a little, we rely more on plants than plants rely on human beings. But think about what human beings do for plants. Like, we literally nurture them. We have agriculture. We keep this surviving genetic code, or certain surviving genetic code of plants alive, and we further their life and further their code as we evolve and as we continue to live. So it goes in a lot of different ways, our relationship with plants, but it just comes down to that we're not separate from them. We're a lot more connected to the plant world, to the earth, to Mother Gaia, than what we're led to believe on Fox News, okay? So that's how I would answer my question. If I was in the room, which I wish I was, with Mike Tyson and Graham Hancock, I would answer it by saying they're just trying to get us smarter so that they can survive, and that we can all survive. The intelligence of Earth can survive. The greater consciousness that we not only share but are with these plants. Okay? It's about the continuation of life altogether. Essentially, it starts by just being a better person, loving yourself and loving others. Kumbaya. And that's how we get along here. So yeah, other than that, guys, I highly suggest that you watch that podcast with Graham and Mike. Very profound, very different minds, obviously, and they get along quite well, probably because they are under the influence of psilocybin and cannabis, so they're able to connect through their differences and form just a cohesive, intelligent, and mature, I guess you could say, podcast. A very, very enlightening podcast between two enlightened individuals, in my opinion. So, yeah, man, go check it out. And thanks for watching. And wish you all the best. Peace.